folks, there's been a lot of concern in educational circles about the ability of American students to compete for careers on a global level. And so how do we get our students to do so? Because here's what happens in this country. We assume that all the jobs are going to be in the United States. We assume that the rest of the world all is trying to come to the United States, when in fact, you have a significant number of people who are leaving the United States and going to other countries. Joining us to talk about this, School of Information Systems and Technology, Morgan State University's Jackie Jones. Jackie, how you doing?
Roland, how are you?
Good to see you. She's the chair of the Department of Multimedia Journalism and Technology. Also, University of Phoenix Executive Dean Dennis Bonilla on Skype. Dennis, how you doing? Okay, so we're trying to figure out what's going on with the audio there. Well, I want to start with you, Jack, and of course my panel is still there as well. Jackie, this is a major issue here, and that is getting American students to understand that when it comes to jobs might require them to leave our borders, you got to be prepared for that.
Absolutely. I think that the main thing starts at home, though. I see in Morgan all the time students who are not homebodies, but they don't want to be far from their families. They don't want to travel far afield, and their parents hold them back. And so a lot of times when we have open house at Morgan, I tell the parents, you got to let them go. Otherwise, they'll be in your basement the rest of their lives. And so that usually gets them going. But the students have to understand that the world is much broader than their backyard. And when you have, especially with urban universities, students who are not well-traveled, may not have had opportunities to go out of their region, much less out of the country, it takes a while to warm them up to the task.
Now, Jackie, you came up with Trinidad as well as Hong Kong, and so I mean you're actually seeing this. I mean, also there are people who work for consulting groups and other companies where their job is going to take them to other countries around the world. And so, what are you advising people? Should they be learning foreign languages? Should they be boning up when it comes to different cultures and how they operate?
Absolutely, absolutely. I always tell students, especially high school students, when we're recruiting, to make sure you have a passport and that you're learning a second language. And often people assume that it has to be Spanish, but it doesn't. It just has to be a second language because it can be useful anywhere. I tell them to read things that they're not comfortable with, put themselves in situations that take them out of their comfort zone so that they can learn how to adjust to any situation that crops up. And here at Morgan, we especially push the students to try different things, and we send them abroad. We are planning to take a couple of students to Cuba this summer. We're going to do partnerships with other universities that have foreign reporting programs. So we're pushing them out there. So they're going to go, whether they initially planned it or not, but they understand that that's just part of the curriculum. And I think that that's important for schools, too.
We still have the picture of Dean, but we have some audio issues, so we have him by phone. Is he there? Dennis? Is Dennis there? Okay. Our panel, you've got some questions as well on this issue. And Jason, you teach at a college up there, Hiram College. I mean, you know, this is something that American students are going to have to get used to. We are living in a global world.
Well, this is one of the things that I wanted to ask Dean here as well. You know, Hiram College, we always say intimate learning, global reach. We literally changed the semester system at Hiram to a 3-week so that more of our students could go abroad. Because one of the problems is it's expensive to go for a whole semester, but you can go during the 3 weeks. One of the reasons that we have such a high number of students who can go. What do you guys do, or what are some suggestions for students who might want to go abroad, or families who want to send their kids abroad, but they can't do 15 weeks because some of the internships abroad are unpaid?
Exactly. Well, what we're doing, a couple of things. We're looking into online learning, which is a great opportunity for students. I just got back from Trinidad doing some meetings with the University of the West Indies, and we're working on a course. We'll offer a joint history of Caribbean media. So we'll have students from our school interacting by Skype. We have a global conference room, so that's always an option. Shorter trips. I was with a group of students from Penn State in Hong Kong and mainland China, and they spent the semester preparing stories and coverage, and then they went and met their sources on site in Hong Kong for a week. So and that's cheaper. You know?
Right.
But fundraising is the key. I mean, all universities now, even schools like Penn State, have to get out and raise their own money for these kinds of opportunities.
Dennis is on the phone here. Dennis, do we have you? We finally have you?
I'm on the phone.
So Dennis, this is a critical issue. How do you see this in terms of getting the next generation of students to understand that it's not just about what's happening here in America?
Well, the global talent crisis is in every country, and in order to solve the competitiveness issue for most of the emerging countries and the developed countries, there's going to have to be an evolution of talent that really understands the global needs, and that includes what you were just talking about. This whole issue around cultural diversity and the sensitivity to cultural diversity. When I was at Microsoft, we had teams that were from 148 countries, so you had to understand how to be able to work with teams around the world at different hours of the day, how to collaborate with them, how to communicate with them, how to be sensitive to the cultural needs. So it's just a real evolution of a need that really is not going to be able to just be handled as to being American-centric. It's got to be a global-centric sort of mindset.
And Dennis, what are you doing in terms of? I mean, as I asked Jack the question, are you encouraging folks to learn a foreign language? What skills are you telling students they must have to compete in a global economy?
There are 5 things that we talk about. The first thing is around understanding cultural sensitivity. The second thing is a second language is absolutely essential. It doesn't have to be Spanish, like you said, Mandarin, Chinese, but really having a second language as a backup to your primary language. The third is really understanding how to collaborate, how to work in teams, how to work in distributed teams that are, you're not going to be able to see them face to face. You're going to probably be working through them like we're doing now, either on Skype or FaceTime. You're going to have communication skills that are excellent. You're not going to be able to just sort of meander through a conversation. You're going to have communication skills that are excellent. And the last thing is you're going to have to know how to do managing projects. You have to be able to understand schedule and time management and cost management and project management, and those 5 skills will really get you, really at the top of the game in terms of an international or a global talent.
All right, then, University of Phoenix Executive Dean Dennis Bonilla, and we certainly appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. And, of course, Morgan State's Jackie Jones, thank you so very much as well. And, of course, our panel, Avis Jones-Dweaver, Jason Johnson, as well as Gilda, the law professor that's up there. And Gilda, seriously, please, next time, I'm glad you're there. Keep Jason in line.
Yes, sir, I'll try.